Buckle up, because the debate over WNBA officiating, league integrity, and Caitlin Clark just hit the national conversation in a big way. For months, the noise has been building. Fans, analysts, and players have watched hard fouls pile up on Caitlin Clark, winced at collisions that seemed beyond routine contact, and asked the same question over and over: how is that not a foul? Clips ricocheted across timelines, slow-motion replays fueled nightly debates, and the temperature around the WNBA's newest star kept rising. That is the backdrop against which a far more serious claim surfaced online. Suggestions that federal investigators were interested in whether league leadership influenced how certain games were called. Before we go any further, here's what matters most. As of today, there is no public record, no filing, no formal announcement confirming an FBI probe into the WNBA's officiating or any directive from the commissioner's office. There are no public court documents showing sworn testimony by referees about league-ordered game management. There are rumors, there is speculation, and there is a lot of emotion, but there is not, at this moment, verifiable evidence in the public domain that the league has been manipulating outcomes. That distinction is essential, because in sports, where reputations move at the speed of a clip, truth often moves much slower. So why has this story caught fire? Partly because the women's game has never been this visible. Caitlin Clark's arrival in Indianapolis did not just add a star, it recalibrated the WNBA's attention economy. The Indiana Fever have sold out home and road, national windows have climbed, and highlight packages now lead mainstream shows. With that visibility comes a sharper lens on officiating. Every no call becomes a referendum. Every bump invites a frame by frame. Every let 'em play moment can feel like a conspiracy when it involves the league's brightest draw. It also caught fire because we are living in an era when integrity questions shadow every sport. After a string of gambling-related scandals around men's basketball, national voices warned that scrutiny would widen. Stephen A. Smith said on air, "If the FBI is looking into the NBA, don't be surprised if the WNBA is next." The line was more caution than confirmation, but once it was clipped and recirculated, next to videos of Clark taking hits, the internet did what it does: stitched two separate ideas into a single conclusion. To separate signal from noise, it helps to understand how WNBA officiating actually works. The league uses a pool of officials who are graded, trained, and reviewed throughout the year. Every game is evaluated. Crews receive detailed post-game reports. The league issues points of emphasis before and during the season: hand-checking, freedom of movement, illegal screens, flagrant criteria. Games are not random. They are the product of a system that, in Tetson's deep theory, values consistency above all. And yet, no officiating system is perfect. Swallow the whistle, nights exist. Crews can lean toward flow in one quarter and toward technical correctness in the next. That variance feels bigger in high-profile games and around high-profile players. Sports psychologists and rules analysts have studied superstar calls for years. Whether big names get more whistles, not fewer. The data is mixed, but the perception persists. In Clark's case, the grievance is the opposite: that she is absorbing too much contact without the whistle. When those plays happen on national TV with millions watching, the grievance becomes a league-wide argument. The claim that ignited the latest round goes beyond the usual officiating debate. It suggests influence from above, pressure to keep the game competitive, direction to let more contact stand when defending Clark, a top-down effort to protect a league narrative rather than players. Presented baldly, that is an existential allegation. It implies that what fans are seeing is not sport, but stagecraft. Two things can be true at once. One, it is possible for officiating to err, even err repeatedly, against a single player or team without malice or conspiracy. Officiating is a human craft, not a lab result. Two, if any league ever did instruct referees to call, or not call, certain actions to engineer parity or manage star arcs, that would strike at the heart of competitive integrity and invite the very kind of outside scrutiny fans are now talking about. So how would a real inquiry work? Federal investigators do not open cases because a clip trends. They start with credible, documented allegations, emails, texts, financial anomalies, witness statements that can be corroborated. They gather records under subpoena. They talk to officials, league staff, and outside partners. If sworn testimony happened, it would live in filings or transcripts that, in many circumstances, would become public at some stage. None of that has surfaced. That does not mean nothing is being looked at. It means the claims racing through social feeds are ahead of the evidence. Why the focus on Clark specifically? Because she sits at the center of the league's present and future. Before she stepped on a WNBA floor, arenas were reliably passionate, but not reliably full. After she stepped onto one, tickets jumped, merch spiked, television windows strengthened, and a new audience, many watching the W for the first time, showed up expecting to see a star do star things. That kind of gravitational pull creates tension. Veterans want respect for what they have built. Coaches want officials to allow physical defense against great shooters. Fans want fairness, and, if we are honest, a little preferential whistle for the player they paid to see. When all those wants are on the floor at once, officiating becomes the lightning rod. There is a related conversation about image. That deserves nuance. Leagues care deeply about how their product looks and feels. Every competition office in every major sport balances aesthetics, flow, entertainment value, with enforcement, accuracy, safety. They publish points of emphasis and hold seminars with coaches. They meet with crews and debrief. Doing that is not corrupt. It's part of governing a sport. Crossing the line would be asking crews to call two sets of rules, one for a star and one for everyone else, or one for a moment and one for the rest of the game. That is the bright red line the rumor mill says was crossed. Again, there is no public evidence that it was. There is also a safety component that should not be lost. Physical play is part of basketball. Permission to hit is not. The WNBA rulebook gives officials wide latitude to upgrade contact to flagrant or unsportsmanlike when player safety is at risk. To the extent Clark, or any guard, absorbs repeated heavy contact on drives, screens, or off-ball chases, the league has every reason to clarify standards mid-season. Consistency protects players and diffuses allegations of bias. Where does the commissioner come in? The commissioner's role is to set direction, steward the schedule, manage relationships with broadcasters and sponsors, oversee discipline, and, yes, ensure the integrity of competition. Cathy Engelbert has led the WNBA through unprecedented growth and visibility. Critiquing specific decisions is fair. Assigning motive without evidence is not. If the league believes officiating consistency is the story of this season, a proactive posture, public points of emphasis, officiating videos, expanded transparency like L2M, last 2-minute style reports, would help. At this point, you might ask, what about those sensational posts claiming the season has been canceled? Funds have gone missing, and federal agents have taken over league offices. Here again, reality diverges from rumor. There has been no official announcement of a canceled WNBA season, no credible report of the league shutting down operations, and no verified release from authorities confirming widespread financial irregularities inside the league office. It is easy to write a dystopian thread. It is harder to produce documents. In the real world, a season cancellation would require Board of Governors action, public statements from teams and broadcasters, and an extensive set of notices tied to arena leases, travel, and labor obligations. None of that has happened. That is not to say sports governance is free from error. Every league wrestles with performance gaps, budget choices, and the demands of growth. The WNBA's maturation, from travel policy to scheduling to performance support and officiating investment, is happening in real time under a spotlight. The best answer to fan mistrust is clarity, not defensiveness. The best answer to officiating anxiety is standards, not silence. Let's talk about what would actually build trust, starting tomorrow. First, officiating transparency. The league can publish more frequent rules videos for fans and teams that walk through recent plays, the standards being applied, and what crews are being asked to see. The NBA's public reports are imperfect, but they demonstrate a commitment to explaining decisions. Doing the same in the WNBA, especially in games featuring the most watched matchups, would show respect for a growing audience. Second, reinforcement from the competition office. When physicality crosses the line, the league can issue fines or suspensions quickly, with clear language about why. That approach protects stars, role players, and the game's flow. Third, independent oversight when necessary. Leagues routinely bring in outside evaluators to audit specific processes. Integrity hotlines, anonymous official surveys, or third-party reviews of grading systems. If the WNBA wants to cool the temperature on officiating conspiracy, inviting a respected external voice to review and report on process would be smart business. Fourth, continue modernizing the officiating pool. Recruiting, training, and retaining officials is a long game. Investment in development, technology, real-time feedback tools, and off-season clinics creates consistency. Stars flourish best in games where players, coaches, and officials all trust the framework. Fifth, communication with the players themselves. The WNBA Players Association has been vocal about consistency and safety. Regular formal touchpoints between stars, including Clark, the PA, and the officiating leadership would air grievances early and set expectations publicly. That kind of candor builds shared accountability. If you are a fan who has watched Clark get hammered on a curl, shook your head, and typed out a 3-paragraph post about bias, none of this minimizes your frustration. It channels it towards solutions. Sports are not just about being right online. They are about building frameworks that stand up over time. There is another angle here, the difference between balance and control. Parity is not a dirty word. The WNBA benefits when more teams matter. Close games are memorable. Underdogs winning is fun. But parity should emerge from the competitive ecosystem, draft, development, coaching, not from the rim of a referee's whistle. The league does not need to dial down a star's ascent to keep casual fans interested. History shows the opposite. The NBA rode Jordan's dominance to global relevance. Tennis exploded in part because of Serena's reign. Soccer found next level in Messi's era. Stars do not eclipse leagues, they expand them. Caitlin Clark's effect on the WNBA is not a threat to manage. It is an engine to harness. Protecting her, the way the rulebook already allows, does not mean putting her above the game. It means applying the same standards to the game she plays at a higher speed. Letting her artistry live inside a consistent framework benefits adversaries too. Opponents deserve clarity on what is legal. Fans deserve to see the best players healthy in May and still healthy in September. What about the business fallout of rumors like these? Sponsors do not like uncertainty. Broadcasters do not like confused narratives. One internet storm won't chase partners away, but a pattern of doubt will. That is why strong communications matter. The league should get out in front of the story, affirm integrity, explain processes, and acknowledge that the growth of the women's game means every decision will be viewed through a bigger lens. Own that growth. Equip fans to understand it. There is a line making the rounds in fan forums: protect the league image. It is framed as the villain in this story, as if image and integrity are opposites. They are not. The surest way to protect the league's image is to protect the integrity of its games. Do that consistently, and the image takes care of itself. Let's address the cancellation rumor one more time, because it has frightened casual fans who discovered the WNBA this year. If a league were truly at risk of a canceled season, here's what you would see. Emergency meetings of the Board of Governors, coordinated statements from all 12 teams, communication from the Players Association, notices from TV partners, arena calendar shifting, an avalanche of reporting from mainstream outlets quoting named executives and labor attorneys. None of that exists. Instead, there is a healthy and heated debate about officiating and how to handle the weight of a breakout star. That is the normal mess of a league in adolescence, not the obituary of one in collapse. So where does this leave fans tonight? With homework and with hope. Homework, because media literacy is part of modern fandom. Before you share a thread claiming sworn testimony, ask, where's the docket number? Where's the date? What court? Who filed it? If the answer is, a YouTube video said so, tap the brakes. Hope, because the WNBA is experiencing the kind of tension only successful properties experience. Growing pains that stem from a surge in interest, not a lack of it. The league has the people and tools to manage this moment. It needs to use them. Caitlin Clark will play with contact. She will draw magnets on every possession. She will make mistakes and explode for weeks at a time and return from bumps we will all hold our breath through. The job of the league is not to engineer her arc. It is to build a stage solid enough to hold it. The job of officials is to apply standards in the first quarter of a Tuesday as surely as they do in the final minutes of a Sunday showcase. The job of fans is to keep the pressure on for fairness while resisting the easy dopamine of unverified scandal. If you love this sport, and if you've read this far, you probably do, keep your eyes on the two things that matter most: the health of the players and the health of the game. The rest is noise that can be tamed with transparency, process, and time. We'll keep watching the officiating memos, the points of emphasis updates, and any official statements related to competition integrity. We'll keep tracking the Indiana Fever's evolution with Clark at the controls, the way opponents guard her through scouting cycles, and how crews manage physical play once the playoffs approach. We'll keep an eye on the Commissioner's Office for concrete steps, public reports, officiating videos, sanctions when appropriate, that move this conversation from rumor to resolution. Until then, the takeaway is simple. The WNBA's biggest threat is not a rival league, it is credibility. The best way to strengthen it is not to fight online. It is to show up night after night with a game that calls itself cleanly, no matter who has the ball, whose jersey sells the most, or how loud the crowd gets when contact turns into controversy. The women's game has never been this compelling. Don't let the loudest rumors drown out the quiet work that keeps it that way.